Hey guys, so Lord here, back in with another action figure review, and no, this is not a new installment of What's in the Box, though your eyes do not deceive you. There is a box here. That is because today I'm going to be taking a look at the San Diego Comic-Con 2024 exclusive Masters of the Universe Cartoon Collection 2-Bad set brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. That's right, I was able to nab one of these during the in-stock sale over on ye old Mattel Creations. And before I get too far ahead of myself, we're going to cut right to the chase and get into the first half of the meat and taters of this review and unbox this sucker. So, of course, it comes in a Mattel ship-a-box, which isn't really important. It's just a freaking box. But when you open it, you do have this little mini comic to worry about, so don't lose that. Let's see if I can dump this whole thing out here. Set this aside so it's not in our way. That said, if you live in my room, there's plenty of stuff in your way. But there you go. There is the Tuar and Badra set in its glory. Hopefully you can see that. Not. There you go. There's some artwork there. There's some more on the side. Some more on that side. And some more on this side. Now, of course, in true Mattel fashion, the slip cover comes off. And you have the Tuar and Badra box that can open up. And then you can see some cool artwork there. Very, very nice. And then if you flip it around, you get your two figures in their plastic prisons. Skeletor's blasting them. Probably with that mirror to change them into the infamous 2-Bad. You can see the 2-Bad torsos hiding down there. The mirror's behind Badra here. This is Tuar. And this box magnetically connects in the middle. So you can display it just like this. That said, where's the fun in that? I'm going to cut this here. We're going to open these bad boys up and turn them into one bad boy. And we'll be right back in a little jiffy. And by the power of movie magic, here we have both Tuar and Badra open up and out of their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive packaging. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the actual meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all they have to offer in terms of accessories. And unfortunately, this is where this set really falls flat on its ass, because they don't come with much of anything, if anything at all. Starters, they come with this lenticular mirror thing, which is a 2000X artifact, not a Filmation artifact, much like Tuar and Badra themselves. So that's cool, I guess, but there you go. Of course, we also get the 2-Bad torso with the two necks on it, and even the more traditional looking Origins crotch. It's got the sculpted belt detail and everything on it, so that's interesting. And then last, but in this case least, we get the exclusive mini comic. Hopefully that's the right side up. There's a back too. But yeah, apparently Pixel Dan makes a cameo in this. They're like tracking him down or something. And, you know, I'm okay if somebody likes to watch his videos. That's fine. But if you worship him like I worship Ronnie James Dio or Keith David or George Carlin or someone like that, I think you need higher aspirations. I mean, Ronnie James Dio is the godfather of heavy metal and our true Lord and Savior. Keith David voiced Spawn and Goliath and Thel, the Arbiter from Halo, Despero in the Justice League Unlimited series, Black Panther in the Fantastic Four series, Tombstone in Spectacular Spider-Man, Mongol in Young Justice, Barricade in the Transformers movie video game, Hordak in Masters of the Universe Revolution, and George Carlin is funny as hell. So, you know, they've actually accomplished something that I feel is worth admiring, whereas Pixel Dan reviewed Masters of the Universe Classics. I mean, cool, he reviewed an entire toy line. Eventually, those toys will degrade and turn to dust, so that is worthless. Whereas voice work, music, and comedy will live on throughout the rest of eternity. So, you know, just a little bit of insight as to who you should really be looking up to if you're in this YouTube toy game, such as myself. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. That said, let me take a closer look at Tuar here, since he is the main dude. He is the smarter of the two anyways. But as you can see, he is a blue. So he can go join the Blue Man group when he's done tracking down, what's his name? Pixelord? Stupid name. At least he looks cooler than the actual guy does in real life. But as far as articulation on this guy goes, it's standard cartoon collection fare. You can look up, down, tilt side to side, rotate. Shoulders can go out, back down, rotate all the way around, give or take the sculpt. He's got a single elbow, nice and crunchy. With rotation, swivel in the wrist with a hinge. He's got rotation in the waist, hips, can kick out to the side about that far. He does have more open sockets on the hips, as opposed to most Origins style figures, we'll call it. And there's a reason for that. You can kick forward far, you can't kick back a ton. He does have rotation in the knee with a hinge. It's nice and tight there. And then he has a swivel in the boot with a hinge in the foot and a rocker joint. That said, it should be worth noting, Tuar is not my favorite of the two. He does have a very orcish looking head sculpt there with the kind of fins sticking off his head. I'm surprised we haven't got a Mythic Legions Tuar and Badra yet, but I guess they don't have the two-headed body worked out just yet. Maybe they'll do that in Cosmic Legions. But Badra was always my guy, especially the 2000X version. He was like big and jacked and kind of hunched over. He just looked like a beast, and this, to me, does not do him any justice whatsoever. I like my Badra to be bigger than my Tuar. That way, when they're combined as two bad, it looks like a very abnormal, deranged, asymmetrical monster, as opposed to just, oh, it's two guys who are the same exact build slapped together. That's not interesting, right? That said, it should be worth noting their armor is a little different. He's got the spike in the middle with the little studs on the outside. He's just got two spikes going across his chest there, almost like little pointy nipples. But as far as combining these two go, because I think it's kind of pointless to do a size comparison with these two, because they are the standard cartoon collection buck at the moment. You just pop the head off, pop off the arm, and then for the leg, what you want to do is you want to turn it back and up and around, and then just push down on it like that. It will pop right off, no heat required. And there is half of Tuar. Then you do the same for Badra. Pop his head off. Pop the arm out. His arm pretty tight. And then you do the same thing with the leg. Swivel it around, push it down, pops right out. And there's your half of Badra. I will say, they actually have the Filmation belts that's all smoothed out. I'm surprised the Too Bad torso has the sculpted belt. That's interesting. That said, we'll take our Too Bad torso. We will snap the legs on. Sometimes they will snap on, sometimes they won't. But you'll know they're on when you feel it pop in. That's what she said. There you go. There's a nice little snap for you. You know what? I like the snap. Let's see if I can get the snap out of this leg. There you go. Nice loud snap. That way you know it's in there. I will say this knee is a little loose on mine, but it's nothing to worry about. As far as the arms go, you got Badra's arm. there. We got Tuars. Right there. Nice and tight. Tuar's head. Which I like to, since these are on the double ball peg, I like to kind of lean them out. That way the heads have room to move. But it does look a little funky when you do that, so I get if you don't want to do that. But that's just something I do. But snapping on Badra's head, and there is our Two-Bad combined, or in combined mode. We were talking Transformers here. And looking pretty cool. I dig it. However, the one caveat I have with this 2-pack is we do not get their shield or any weapons of any kind. And in this mini-comic where they're tracking down Pixel Doofus here, they are using all kinds of weapons and the spacesuit that goes into Castle Grayskull. You know, if you're a pro sniper and we're lucky enough to get one of those, or, you know, rich enough to get one off of eBay. Personally, I do not have one of those. Wish I did. Come to think of it, I think a friend of mine got rid of his recently, and I was stupid not to ask him for it. But that's on me, right? That said, what you do get is a cool Two-Bad figure, and I hope you're happy with that. Because as far as the scale goes, the only cartoon collection I have handy here is old the Ocean Warlord. Ocean Man. We move him in. You can see that Two-Bad has a little bit of, maybe the tiniest bit of extra height on him. Maybe not. It's based off the crazy neck situation he's got going on here. Maybe not. No, actually, he's about the same height as Merman. Although he does take him on bulk by a smidge. A smidge. It is not that big a difference. You would think with the two necks, he'd be a lot thicker, but he's not. But, yeah, and of course, this body can rotate. The heads are on the double ball pegs, and the rest of the articulation is the same because it's the parts we just looked at. So, there you go. And obviously, Tuar, he's got this metal gauntlet, metal boot on this side. Badra's got more of like a, I guess, a leathery gauntlet and boot on his side. And then, of course, the chest armor is combined of the two. Badra's got the two spikes that were going across his chest, and then Tuar has the lone spike with the studs. Only thing is, Badra's spikes go up and down on here, whereas on his solo figure, his solo mode, whatever you want to call it, his split up mode, they're going across. So they did change that, but I think aesthetically it works better. I think it looks good. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. So before we wrap this up, let's bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus here, and the infamous Eleven Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone because he is not a 5.5 inch to 6 inch scale figure. I know that the cartoon collection tends to be a little bit taller than your standard Origin, so take that into account. But yeah, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and as a Comic-Con exclusive, I don't think that good old Two-Bad here makes the most sense, because, for starters, he is not the most obscure character from Masters of the Universe. If you dig into the back catalog of the Filmation series, there are plenty of more obscure characters that they could have chosen to put as a Comic-Con exclusive box set, like Chakotay or Lord Mask, for example, who have attained cult status over the years and would have sold very well as a Comic-Con exclusive offering from the fine folks over at Mattel. But instead, they go with Two-Bad, who we still don't have a tried and true Origins figure of quite yet. I know he's tooled, fully sculpted, and whatnot, but we still don't have it, so that doesn't count. But he's also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, on top of the fact that he was already an exclusive, which are difficult to get a hold of. But the fact that he is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that sold out rather quickly makes him unattainable and very difficult to track down for the average person. So I don't think that was the smartest move on Mattel's part. Yes, I am kind of happy that we finally have figures of Tuar and Badra. Don't get me wrong, being a 2000X guy, that's a big deal for someone like me, but at the end of the day, that wasn't a Filmation thing. That was a 2000X thing. So this set doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And, you know, since it is a San Diego Comic-Con offering, why didn't they go a little bit more all out and give us some weapons for these two quote-unquote mercenary, bounty hunter, assassin type characters, right? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you ask me, but at the end of the day, I was able to get a hold of one, and for the most part, I am happy with it. I mean, come on, dude, at least give him his shield, right? So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.